Please feel free to grab like a drink or something that you can, drink while listening.
Just click on anything.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining today. We'll go ahead and get started. All right. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining. Before we go ahead and get started, I'll open us up in a prayer. So please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents, Jesus, Sinjin, Hyojin, Tomonim, all of our good ancestors in the spirit world, good evening, afternoon, night, whatever time it is for us everywhere around the world. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together today. Our first Ocean Providence Connect call of 2026. I really pray that you can guide this call and speak through our speaker, Reverend Cosmos, and also help us feel motivated and inspired as we listen and allow us to learn from his efforts about Ocean Providence, but your Providence in general, and help and allow that to help us move forward strongly as we go forward in 2026. And I really pray that our efforts can continue while True Mother is currently in the detention center. I really pray that we can keep going strong and that through our efforts, through our conditions, we can support True Mother here on earth and True Father in heaven. Thank you so much once again for allowing us to gather, and I really pray that you can be with us throughout this entire call. Thank you. I pray this in my name and everybody's name here from Blessed Central Family, attending Holy Mother Han, Amen, Aju. Right.
True.
Thank you everybody for joining. I will quickly share my screen. Right. Can everybody see this? Yes, okay, thank you. All right, so today is Ocean Providence Connect, and for those of you that are new here, this is essentially a networking call where we basically invite Ocean Providence people from around the world to kind of report on the activities that they're doing in order to further Ocean Providence. But this year, we're going to be also including an Ocean Providence Q&A panel. And so to support that, we're going to start off today with a short introduction to Ocean Providence, very brief, very short, just to give you a basis and basic understanding of what Ocean Providence is and kind of see how the reporting person's activity actually ties into that larger providence. So I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. So yes, just a quick introduction to Ocean Providence, or the key to world peace and unification. So first, before we actually talk about what exactly it is, I want to showcase, how much True Parents spent their time and investment on Ocean Providence. So just from photos alone, you can see a lot of the investment that they put in. They went out fishing every time, right? When True Parents visited a place, leaders would be like, "Oh my gosh, we have to prepare a boat. True Father is gonna want to go fishing," right? That's one of the first things that True Parents would come do when they visited places oftentimes. And so you can just see from the amount of photos of them fishing them out on the boat that they've invested a lot of time going out to the water. Not only that, but your father developed his own tuna fishing method and taught it to members at Ocean Challenge, which just goes to show how much he was invested in fishing. But not only fishing, right? Ocean Providence wasn't just fishing. It had to do with even boat building. True Father and like members, they designed a boat. They actually designed and built and manufactured boats, the Good Go and the One Hope, really historic photos. So you can see all these different boats, right? And True Father really closely supervised this entire process, right? Because he was really, poured his heart into this. More boats, right? And even fish processing, fish distribution, companies like Ocean Providence LLC are kind of a product of this, right? And even things like seafood restaurants, right? True Parents, actually the sushi restaurants actually changed the course of eating sushi in America. So that in and of itself, you can tell it's like a huge thing, right? That True Parents did. And so you can tell just from those photos, right? And that's not even all the photos, that's just a small collection of them, that True Parents really invested a lot into Ocean Providence. So you come to question, like, what exactly is Ocean Providence that True Parents, did so much with it? Well, to understand Ocean Providence, I'm going to quickly talk about the goals, right? What are the goals of Ocean Providence? And since Ocean Providence is a part of Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, the goals should align with the goals of Family Federation for Peace and Unification. So what exactly is our goal, right, as FFWPU? So the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification was established May 1st, 1994, and the goals are literally in our name, right? We're a federation of families trying to achieve world peace, like solving poverty, hunger, wars, and world unification. So unification of religion, elimination of materialism and atheism, and where all humanity accepts True Parents, right? So this kind of this ideal world of mutual prosperity, universally shared values, and interdependence. And True Parents, these are really big goals, right? It's not like you can just be like, I'm going to do this and it'll work out. So True Parents must have had a substantial plan to accomplish all of these goals. So what exactly was that plan? Well, to understand the plan, we have to understand what exactly is world peace and unification. And True Father explains very clearly. He says, I want to tear down the walls between religions and between races and fill in the gap between the rich and the poor. Once that is done, we can reestablish the world of peace that God created in the beginning. I'm talking about a world where no one goes hungry and no one sheds tears. And so to basically summarize, right, to reestablish the world of peace that God created in the beginning, we need to, one, tear down the walls between religions, which is the unity of religions, two, tear down the walls between races, the unity of all people, and three, fill in the gap between the rich and the poor, which is the resolution of poverty, hunger, and equalization. And so this brings up the point that our movement is not just a spiritual movement, right? True Father says, I'm the founder of this gigantic spiritual movement, but I am also laying the foundation to solve future physical problems of the world. Since I'm so enthusiastic and have so many plans about the ocean, anyone who comes to the Unification Church cannot help but pay attention to the ocean. So you can tell then that the ocean providence is essentially the heavenly plan that true parents had developed to solve the physical problems of the world. And as the true parent, right, true father says, why am I doing all this, right? It's because as the true parent, I want to take responsibility for those suffering from hunger. My heart is not to give up on anyone in the world. They are all our brothers and sisters. We are the true parents who came to earth to save all humanity. All people are our children. How can we not be concerned about those who are starving to death? The reason I am engaged in ocean enterprises is that through them, we can save those people. And so just to summarize, right, essentially ocean providence is true parents' plan to solve the world's poverty and hunger problems, the main physical problems that plague the world that stop us from achieving world peace and unification. So that is, in short, what ocean providence is. And that leads me into, with this understanding of ocean providence and its goal to solve things like food insecurity, we have a presenter today from Nigeria, Reverend Cosmos Obi Okuk, from the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy in Nigeria, that will be talking about his efforts toward moving ocean providence forward. And before I bring him up, I want to mention that we will be having a Q&A panel at the end for both Reverend Cosmos, if you have any questions, and also general ocean providence questions. So if you do have those questions, keep them in mind and you can put them in the chat. And yeah, we will answer them at the end. So Reverend Cosmos, I want to invite you up.
Okay. Okay. Can I go on?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So I'll be presenting following the slides as you'll be opening them there. So I'm going to start. My name's Cosmas Obi Okuk, of course, Reverend Cosmas Obi Okuk. I'm a refugee here in Nigeria. I'm a Cameroonian, basically, but I'm a refugee in Nigeria. And my activity site, or where I live, is a place we call Adagom 3 Refugee Settlement in Ogoja local government area, Cross River State, Republic of Nigeria. So I got engaged, to do something as a way of life in order to contribute for the ocean providence, the aspects of a world peace, and of course, making ocean providence to have grants in Nigeria and Africa. Next. Okay, so the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy, we developed it to be an academy because we brought different units together in order that it can we can do a lot of research in order to develop these units, make them productive, and then they can lay the ground for the expansion of all what we want to achieve in our goals. So it's typically an academy where we do a lot of training, we do research, and we learn. So today we have also what we call the Holy Fish Livestock Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Half-Leaf Malt Corp. It came as a result of, when I got the advice in order to have a legal institution that can help me achieve the goals of the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy. In any case, I need documents, I need a formal, since I'm a refugee, a way to live in order to be able to have maybe access to other institutions, but legally and formally. So I succeeded in registering what we call the Half-Leaf Malt Corporation, cooperative, and the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy will be operating under Half-Leaf Malt Cooperative. The headquarters of Half-Leaf Malt Cooperative actually is where I am. This is Community 13, Adagom 3 Refugee Settlement in Ogoja, Nigeria. Thank you. Next. So you can see the last year, what I'm presenting is basically the activities of Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy in 2025, because this is early 2026. I even forgot, I should have said Happy New Year to all of us. I should have started that way greeting, because this is actually January. So what I'm presenting, as I said, is a lot of the work we did in 2025. In 2025, we witnessed some construction work. Before 2025, we had dug the lake and some ponds, but I had to construct what I call a working hut by the lake or by the fish farm. The hut will permit me and all of us who will be working there. Sometimes when you go, you need where to sit, you keep your equipment, you can even review what you want to do and so forth. It has a blackboard and where you can keep your things. It was very important for me. We constructed that. Then later, because we got the idea of developing a hatchery, so we constructed a hatchery space in the way we could. In the picture, you can see when it started, the level it was, and then connecting water to the hatchery. Then later on, we have to develop the academy space where it serves as the headquarters, it serves as the administrative space, or also as a classroom and a workspace. You can see those with the main construction works we carried out in 2025. Next. Okay. Here, you can see on the diagram, I have to diagrammatize this. I wanted to explain to people the background of the structure of the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy. For us, it is to be able to develop this structure to withstand the weight we have, because the goals we have are quite uh, large or very great ones or big ones and so forth. So we developed the academy into units. We have, for most of us, we are used to what we call the four-position foundation. So we put them in the form of a four-position foundation. For those who are not used to what they call a four-position foundation, you just see them as it is. But we have the Heaven and Earth Skills Acquisition Unit. This unit is deeply directed to the aspects of training in things of craftsmanship, technical things that can lead to the base to develop an engineering base. So a lot of the welding, the plumbing is managed and coordinated by the Heaven and Earth Skills Acquisition Unit. We have the Holy Fish Hatchery. The Holy Fish Hatchery is a unit by itself where we do a lot of things, because here we have to do research, we have to do how to manage a hatchery, and of course, its production. It must be able to produce, because it must be able to generate income. We have also the livestock feed unit. The livestock feed unit, we thought it is very important to have this unit because it will lead to feed processing and even food processing in the future, and it will complement or support the hatchery and as well as the fish farming. Then in the fish farming, we have two types of farming. We are engaged. We are engaged in crop farming as well as fish farming. Crop farming, we do crops like maize and soybean. These ones are ingredients of what we need to produce feed. It will help to supplement what we need to produce feed. And then for fish farming, it will be receiving what we are going to have from the Holy Fish Hatchery, like fingerlings and juveniles. Now we can develop them or rear them in the fish farm. So we set this network. Like I said earlier, all of them have three main characteristics. They are involved in research, they are involved in income generation, and they are involved in training. Yeah, so this is something we have. And in fact, the whole system, if we develop it to a very great level, it will give us a very powerful, sustainable environment to move forward to achieve our goals. Next. Okay, you can see these beautiful pictures for those who are not familiar with our fish farm. But here I got some visitors. As a refugee, I am under the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. We have what we call the sub-office in Ogoja. One day, a team of the staffs in the head office, sub-office came, and they visited the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm. I showed them the facility. They saw where we have the academy, the hatchery, and the farm, and they were very impressed. And I was lamenting to them that I have a lot of work to do because I'm very occupied as well in the management of a lot of refugee activities. So I was telling them that this, that engagement is consuming a lot of my energy and my time, but this is a work I have here and I need to do for sustainability and so forth. So they were saying, you're already doing some great work. That is very good. And I was busy saying, no, I've just started. It's still little. They said, no, already what you've done is so good. It's very important. I mean that they were appreciating it. They were appreciating that you are really doing something. And I was feeling as I still have much to be doing. So I was happy, at least it was encouraging. There are two sets of pictures. The two pictures above are different and from the other ones behind or below. The ones below was a team of foreign, persons or experts who used to work with the United Nations. And when they came, they are always supervising and seeing what the refugees are doing. They also came to this site. And I was also very happy. When I visited all our facilities, they kept on saying the same thing that, oh, Cosmas, you're trying. I said, yeah, and they always were very concerned. Have you been receiving some assistance? Have you written to any organization for help and everything? I said, no, I haven't yet done. I needed something at hand in order to be able to ask for support and so forth. So I hope I'll be doing. Then one of them advised me to develop or register a cooperative, and it also helped me to therefore, have the half-leaf mode registered. So I hope we'll be doing things better. Next. So the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm, our mission actually is inheriting and promoting True Parents' vision, ideology, activities, and foundations in resolving world hunger. Our goals include, we have two main goals: inspire, train, and empower communities in intensive exploration of marine and aquatic potentials and resources in eradicating world hunger. Second is exploring ocean and marine resources for extensive livelihood sustainability. So we'll be looking at this direction, just like the presentation before, talking about True Parents Ocean Providence. They are very big goals, they are very broad, but I think it's a good dream. I think it's worth engaging. Next. Okay, this other beautiful picture. I like this picture because I just struggled to show you people. When in 2004, I started to dig this whole environment and create a lake, those big ponds and so forth. It was a kind of madness, but I had in me a different picture. I was feeling, even if it wasn't really meant to be something fundamentally economical, I know in order to generate funds, it would be part of it. But I needed something very powerful to to embrace what I want to do, and keep hoping. So when I dug these things, I had to go everywhere looking for fishes to come and put. I also knew that one day I could come and be doing fishing like True Father I was doing, and most of us are doing. But I was thinking to feed people, maybe I will start with myself and even have some few fishes, and I also could feed. So since 2005, I used to go to the lake and the pond. Sometimes I do fishing. These are just samples of the little I used to have, and it helps us a lot in eating. And I felt very encouraged. I always see like it's as if I've fulfilled the whole goal mission of my mission, but it wasn't so, because I realized I could, fish and have something. Sometimes I go praying, I do fishing like where, as a prayer condition and so forth. It's very important and it's uh, very encouraging. So this is what I used to do. So most of them you've seen there, I've eaten them. It's okay. All right, next. So in 2005, we had what we made our specific objectives. We had one to realize a substantial fish farm where We can carry out leisure activity, leisure fishing. We can go make prayers and to conserve and rare endangered fish species. We thought of developing a hatchery for fingerlings production. We also developed a we thought of developing a fish feed processing unit. We thought of developing a fish farm training academy. We thought of training people in fish farming. We thought of develop fish farms within the host community as a sort of empowerment, strengthening and encouraging people to get into fish farming. We thought of increasing community income generation because if we succeeded in establishing some fish farms within the community, they would have served for food, for nutritional purposes as well as income generation, even though they have another part they can play for environmental protection and so forth. So, and we thought of doing it in the form of an organization. In the end of 2025, we succeeded registering a Hopleaf Mode. So we are now, we try to develop a cooperative, a network of people. We didn't fulfill these goals all, or these objectives. We did not really meet up with all of them. But from my own gauging, I think we had almost, we did something about 70%, of all this. I am sure about 70%, we did at least as a formation level, we did something like that. So thank you. Next. Okay. I choose to put this picture, these pictures for you people to see because the efforts we were making, they were really a sort of adventures. I have to do crafts, a kind of, going out to look for fishes. I will have to meet fishermen in order to be able to buy some fishes. I have to even go to the river, to see how I can trap some fishes and get them. Even move to some ponds, local ponds in people's farms with them. Sometimes they give me some few. So gradually I was bringing fishes. The main fishes we were getting were what we call garipinos. Is a sort of a catfish in Africa here, and the local ones, they are different species. Then we were also having tilapias. These are the very common fishes in where I am, and this we brought a lot of them. I choose to put most of the catfishes in the Heavenly King's Pond. Uh, I thought of putting them there. Then most of the tilapias were in the Heavenly King's Pond, and then I've sent some of them also in the lake. We did that last year. Okay, next. Okay, it's a continuation of these pictures. I like when you look at the top left picture, I was struggling to build a net. This I saw my parents, my father in particular, some of his age mates, they were doing these things when I was young, and I had to build one. We used it to go and trap tilapias in the river. It helped me to have about 30 tilapias. So I was so happy, you know, with the craftsmanship. When you see the pictures below, that is a river. That is a river. We have a way we put some cassava inside, then you look for a place they love to always come and stay. You put the net inside. It's a basket. It's actually a basket, a kind of a basket, a gas, and finally they will periodically you come and check and you get some of them. So we did this. Then I was also educating people. I got people of the community struggling to educate them on what fish farming is all about and how it is important for their sustainability to help them. Sometimes we will bring our fishes, the people who are in love with what I'm doing, we pray. I'm fortunate to have, I would say, clergies, because all the people like the middle row pictures, you see the one on the left, were four of us there. There is a mama pastor, is a female pastor. We have a catechist and we have an elder of another church. So I was so happy, we prayed together for those fishes, getting towards, the fulfillment of the main goals we established. Okay, next. Next. Okay, here in 2025, no, 2024, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Ocean Challenge Providence. And it came to me that no, 2025 will not finish without celebrating the 51st. And I did everything. I didn't want 2026 to meet me without doing that. And we celebrated in our own manner. At our own level, we did the celebration of the anniversary, the 51st anniversary of the Ocean Challenge, Ocean Providence Ocean Challenge Providence. And the theme we had was exploring the great potentials of the oceans for livelihood, sustainability, and world peace. Now, I had to talk to my community persons, those who attended, explain to them. But I was so happy with their responses. Most of them told me in their local ways how they were always struggling to do fishing. And some of them told me, like in one village, they even have a village pond, a kind of for fishing. I was so happy. And they realized that it is an easy way that can make them live and, for them, for their good health and also make a bit of money somehow. So I was so happy. We continued this same activity. We did it on the 30th and the 31st. We went to do harvesting of fish, what we put in the Heavenly King's Pond. I was thinking that we are going to have a very great harvest so that I could share with them and then so that it could help them in the new year, but it happened the other way around. Okay, let's just go ahead. Next picture or next slide. Okay, this is the harvesting process. We had to clean the pond because I really allowed grass to cover the pond, one protecting it especially from the birds. And since they are catfishes, they are like nocturnals. They don't like too much light, and they like also an original environment. So the whole pond, the Heavenly King's Pond, was quite grassed, a lot of grass inside that covered it. So we had to remove the grass, and we pumped out the water using the water pump. But behold, we didn't have fishes. There was an incident that happened during the rainy season. There was a flood that happened there, and when I went in the morning, the whole place was flooded. And I think it happened within midnight. So before morning, these fishes are sensitive. They always like to move where water is entering and water is leaving. I realized that they left, but I could not imagine that they left that much. So when we have to do this draining to harvest, we didn't have anything. It pained me a lot because I had about 500 or 400 to 500 fishes and I could not find anything. But that is what we did. Anyway, we just got that experience. Most of them also sympathized with me and said I should not be discouraged. I say, yeah, that was just the beginning. Thank you. Next. So our specific objectives for 2026, we established these ones. We are thinking to experience an intensive fingerlings production for income generation. I use the word intensive fingerlings production because, in hashing, to hash, if you succeed hashing even once, you're going to have a lot of, you're talking of thousands of fingerlings. What if I do maybe hash uh, 3 or 4 times, maybe within 6 months? It is possible because once you hash, you remove, you can even sell. That is why I use the word intensive. Behold, if I get the right broodstock, it can happen like that, and it is good. So we have set our hatchery to the level that we can experiment hashing, and we're hoping that this year we're going to do everything, to experience the production of a lot of fingerlings, and definitely it will help us rear fishes and then support people, sell and generate income. We are thinking to rebuild the ponds. The ponds actually, they will need some refurbishment, or we have to work them again and control them. Yeah, but it can only, what stimulates me to do it will be the production of the fingerlings for the moment. I know it's much work, but it has to be done. I think this year we're going to do that. Then we're thinking to set up and activate the livestock feed production for in the academy. We already got some few items. We can start somewhere, and want it to be operational. We must start from somewhere, and we may produce feed, livestock for fowls, for fishes, and other things. We want to also experience profit through income generation. All of our units are geared towards production. They are all income generating. The livestock feed production unit, the hatchery unit, the what we call the academy unit itself, all generate money. And when we activate them, we hope to experience some income generation by the end of this year. And this will help us to strengthen and increase membership in Half-Leaf Malt, the cooperative. We realize that with the cooperative members, we will need people doing one or two things directly or indirectly connected to livestock and whatever we are doing. And when we develop a lot, we will be able to strengthen them, and help them. Also, we increase our number. We are hoping to upgrade all the units. I use the word professionalize the Healthy Parents Fish Farm because the dream is that we are setting a foundation for it to become a big institution, in the future. We want it to become a very renowned institution. It must grow and keep on growing. So professionalizing it, I just imagine a situation where each of the units becomes a little bit active. From there, we can now start expanding and maybe making contacts and doing whatever it takes for them to become great, bigger institutions. We are thinking to begin a maritime base for extension of ocean providence activities. It could look like maybe we are overstretching, but this is what we need to do. What I'm doing here is just a foundation. We are hoping to move to the coast or the littorals. We are hoping to move to the seaside. For us to set an environment there, everything starts from small. We must take the experience we are accruing here, and then we extend it to that side. It is possible. We are hoping that we can do that by God's grace. And to be able to expand the vision through research and partnership, of course, that is just general. We must always be researching and looking for partners. So we are hoping to see how far we are going to go in achieving these objectives this year. Thank you. Next. Okay, in the academy, when we're talking of training, our training is geared towards skills acquisition in elementary plumbing, carpentry, bricklaying, and welding. We choose these ones because they are very important, first of all, for a typical farmer and a fish farmer. You should be able to have the idea on how to manage water flow, on how to use wood. Naturally, you don't need to be employing people to come and be doing all those things. You need at least elementary knowledge in all of this. Welding, amongst all of them, welding is more fundamental. For us, the welding unit would be a very serious one because it must go to drive the aspect of craftsmanship and engineering, as we are hoping that it will expand, and we are thinking of always training people towards how to construct your ponds, local earth ponds, especially because we would like to go to the permacultural approach. We are also thinking of training people in fish hatching and hatchery management, livestock feed processing and management, fish preservation and conservation. General modern market techniques are very important. It's an aspect we need to also develop and we train people. We want to introduce people to agromechanics. Agromechanics to us we thought that developing agriculture is so difficult if we don't have an engineering or something like that in the backyard, technological, something engineering. And nowadays, in what China is doing in Africa is very impressive. All types of agro machines, China is producing the smaller ones. And we have realized that it doesn't need so much. You must not be a very seasoned engineer. We too want to go into that domain, and we have to set, an environment for our own technological development. So we are thinking of agromechanics at heart. We are thinking of the introduction to ocean marine activities, of course, hoping that we have a site there will open a way forward to train people in ocean and marine activities. We'll start and move somewhere. That is the way we think of pursuing the aspects of training. Next. Next. Okay. Here, we have been working with most of us here, especially, let me just say, Edeminobu's family, and they always try to see how, oh, Cosmas, how can we do to support the people who can see how we create a GoFundMe, and they organized GoFundMe for last year. It helped us a lot. They succeeded in raising $2,000. And when this money got to me, the most important thing was I needed to look for some fundamental equipment, respectively or in respective, yeah. According to the different units, I needed some particular equipment that can help me, build every unit to move forward. So we finally got materials. Always they are not enough, but we got an inverter for welding and some small accessories. We got for the fish feed. You can see up there the yellow. That is the top right. Yes, a picture is what we call a pelletizer, the head. It comes complete with a motor, but buying with the motor was more costly. And we thought that we should have the one we cannot construct. We cannot construct this one, but we can easily get a motor with time. And things in Nigeria are always increasing. The prices are always doubling. So I've secured this pelletizer. It's a 3-roller uh, 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 pelletizer. They have rollers, but this one has 3 rollers. So we also have some down below. You see those are fish. These are fish feed for fry, to raise the fry to juveniles. Then we also have about a water pump for carpentry. We had an electric planer and some other accessories. For the laboratory, we got a water exchanger, the dissecting set. We got a 4-stone solar aerator. That one is good. It will help us a lot in the hashing and raising fries. Then we got other small things. Then there is a small machine there. We got it. This is a multi-purpose grass cutter, but it has a head for tilling. We thought this would help us in farming. And actually, I was doing this with the hand that I made prayers that Heavenly Parents, we must raise Africa from a manual agricultural system to a mechanized system. That is why I was so like, I must do something like that. I must do something like that to set the base. So we really express our gratitude. We thank for each and everybody who participated, who supported us, especially Aquamundo. Well, everybody in general, we thank you people so much. At least we feel we've started something, and even heavens knows. Yeah, thank you. Next. Okay, I thought of also explaining our training methodology. Training methodology in the sense that how we studying, how we training people. We thought of being very bold enough. You we must not limit ourselves that we cannot learn nowadays. We can learn a lot from the internet and so forth. So our strategy is we need what we call an interactive board, and a projector, so that and a kind of online internet studies approach where we can always connect, and all of us sit, we make notes, we see what they are doing practically and so forth. This is very important. This is our main source of acquiring skills or learning from others. As you people know today, the YouTube has so many things it can teach people. We can try, and of course, while reading, of course, we also can get so many books, from the internet. Then we are thinking like Yeah, even when we do this, we can always invite experts around in different fields to come support us time to time. It depends, maybe in welding and some other activities. We also invite colleagues. There are some persons who are not really experts, but they are colleagues because they have been doing one thing, like in maybe fish farming and so forth. They come and share their experience with us. We are thinking of in all to develop individual ingenuity and creativity. We want a system where practical work and what you produce to demonstrate the way you think you can also do something. This should be priority. One that aspect of creativity, people should be able to think and bring innovations. And when we do these things, we are hoping that one day we'll have to make the public know that this is what we are doing. And one of the ways we'll be doing is periodically we may be organizing some show to show a kind of an expo. We invite people. Oh, this is our academy, but these are our products. This is what we're able to do, so that they can only also see and maybe keep on thinking of what to do. Then we think that by every means possible, we have to make sure that our practical work or practicals in our academy should be minimum 75% of all of our time and resources. So from here, we'll be thinking of training opportunities. We'll be thinking of professional partnership and so forth. Then the philosophy behind is something, I don't know, one day I was talking to myself. I just believe that heaven spoke to me. In most cases, even as a refugee, I've always heard people talk of skills acquisition. But I realized that what we needed to do or what we have to do is not just to give people skills. You give people skills, you contain them. So you contain them, and then you empower them, you develop, all of you together, and this now develops a kind of an institution, a productive institution. So I came up with what I used to call a source. Source is skills acquisition utilization for the creation of entrepreneurs. For instance, I can train persons in fish management or fish farming, but I should empower them have farms, and then we work together in a bigger farm system. I will not allow them to go away. I want to contain them. Why not contain them? And each of them has acquire a farm, and we use these farms, to become a kind of a corporation, cooperative, something like that. So that is why we are now looking into a different approach where we would like to train persons and contain them and make them potential, stakeholders, in order to move the vision. Unlike what people do, they train you and you go away and you're there hustling. No, we are hoping to develop institutions, because by doing this, we're going to develop productive institutions. Yeah. So this is our background philosophy. Train people and don't let them just remain scattered, but contain them and then empower them that we become a group, a company, a corporation, and so forth. Something like that. Thank you. Next. Okay. Yeah, let me come. Sorry. Uh, I'm also using my how do we call my laptop so that I can see. All right, sorry. Well, this literature you're talking about, the Fish Farm Academy, is just some literature of all what we have spoken. It's just to talk about the objectives. Three main objectives. You train people, you generate income, and make research. So for the Fish Farm Academy, which is the environment that host the engineering and what I call the skills acquisition unit. It also serves, in keeping the office and coordinating the other units. Coordination is not only practically, but I mean by documents and keeping your information and so forth. So it's just like our headquarters. That is what we're trying to present here. The few of the materials we are having around, we have our board, we have 7 plastic chairs, 2 long benches, one working table, and all those ones. Anyway, even if they don't serve so much for this report, but I like them because I will always keep the information. It's already some information I've documented, and I think I'll be keeping. we have challenges. Of course, just as a baby, we are still at a baby level. So challenges must always be there, especially of space and the energy. We don't have office materials. We don't have, all those small things. But these things will be coming in time with time, with time. So uh, these things are there. Let's go ahead. Next. Okay, I just had to put these pictures. At least you can see. When you see, just as I said, the few activities we are doing there. I'm working. Surprisingly, I think it's like all the pictures you're seeing is only Cosmos, Cosmos, Cosmos. Of course, it's a kind of a one-man academy for the moment. I've told people it's my school, and if I'm the only student, no problem. But I have to start somewhere. If I don't start and do something, people will never even know that I'm even interested in doing it. So sometimes I used to sit and do my conception, conceive my missions. I document it and keep. I'm always interested in seeing how I can even, get a generator, remove the engine and do like this. You weld like this, you create a small tractor, all those kind of things. So we do those kind of things. Then activities like when I was working the soybean, you can see other carpentry activities, constructing one or two things. I have a working space. It's good. And the farm behind here, you see, or below, you see, I was weeding the Aquamundo portion of our soybean farm. And here I have my poster. Sometimes, if you come, I can easily explain to you what I'm trying to do. And you see the hatchery behind or below. Then here, sometimes some people who always like to listen to me, come visiting me, and so forth. Maybe I talk the divine principles, I talk our way of life. We used to go to the lake. It's a very good environment to sit, especially in the afternoon when places are hot. We sometimes have our hundoke, even prayers and so forth. Yeah, all are just some of the activities we are carrying out. Next. The same for livestock feed processing. Like I said, main objective is research in what type of feed can we do for the goats, for the fowls, for the fishes, and for any other livestock around us. Now we have to make those researches and everything document gradually and be improving. And maybe income generation. When we do these things, we must sell. We must be able to do it in a way people can buy or ourselves will use in income generation. All of the units have one particular, or the main objectives are research and doing what we have to do before income generation. So that it helps us to expand. So like I said, even talking about the little things we have for the livestock, I've already explained. We have the pelletizer, we have a small grinder, and so forth. So it's a good start. Yeah, let's go to the next. Challenges include generally we need energy, we need power. Even though I mentioned the running funds is very normal, so forth. Okay, here I choose to put these pictures because we're busy. Like when we had our soybean, we also thought even if we're not producing feed for the moment, we could do soybean to even consume and support some agents in our community. So one day we fried some soybean, we prepared it, we ground it, and sieved it. Then we educated the elderly persons who could invite to join us. We explained to them the importance of soybean in your health, for your health, and so forth. And then we did something like a gesture. We had to do soybean tea and we drank together and so forth. And we gave them out sachets. For me, it's very memorable. It's something very, very important for me. I like keeping it. And I think of sharing, it was a good gesture because they appreciated a lot. Next. It's the same talking about the Heaven and Earth Skills Acquisition unit. The unit has its few machines or items or whatever we need and so forth. But general challenges, lack of power, the other things like the interactive board, and also we are suffering a lot from internet problems here. So it's okay. Next. For me, these pictures I said I should show because the first day I had to use somebody's generator to even sharp a knife and the cutlasses around. I was so happy. I was so happy. I said, wow, at least iron has started sparking within our working space. I was so motivated. And I was hoping that because the generator wasn't big enough, and was a small one, I hope that I could get a bigger one, and then one day I can be doing welding and so forth. The environment we live is a remote environment. It's in the outskirts, in the suburb. And I am thinking that development would not, I cannot carry myself and go to the town. I will make where there is no development for other things to come. So I'm always very proud to see that one of such things have been done here and we have started and it will go on. I was also struggling. I don't know, I just have I don't know if it is my mind, but I like to work with iron and I like to study and I like to do. So most often some things come, I can even repair myself and, go to the internet and see what has to be done, a little thing, something like that. So I think we have started. I'm really very happy with what I call our agro-mechanical activities. Thank you. Next. Okay, same literature about the Holy Fish Hatchery. Holy Fish Hatchery is there, no matter its own problems. We struggled. I struggled to hash uh, 3 times, 3 times. So all were failures. Beside the fact that I am a novice and I'm learning, or even beside the infrastructure. But what I came to realize as a fundamental root for the failure was that the broodstock we got was not coming from professionals, I can say, because it's good you get a broodstock that is matured. At least a year is very important. And these people, when I ask, they will say, "Yeah, I have." I realize that they are always like pushing to sell. In the end, that is what I discovered because we got some of them, they were not even having eggs and so forth. So we didn't succeed. But I can't think it is because of the infrastructure. No, I don't think so. It is just because they weren't the right broodstock. I had to make contact with somebody in a different city. In the eastern Nigeria, fish farming is so primitive. It's not really developed. There is a place they call Aba, and this person is somebody well known and he has big farms. But Nigerians, the people they work with, they are never honest. Yeah, I was so surprised that he sold me a broodstock so costly, 2 fishes, and behold, they didn't. They were not mature. So whatever be the case, we have structures. We have everything we have already established can permit us move forward. So if not of what, our hatchery will keep on growing ahead. So thank you. Next. Okay, I thought of these pictures. You can see the 2 fishes, the pair that came. I call them a couple that came. There in the tanks, and I was doing some work in the hatchery there. And one of the pictures I was doing cleaning the tanks with the water exchanger and tank cleaner. It's electric. It's very important. It's very good. You clean the bottom of the tanks and everything. It doesn't affect the fishes and so forth. And I was stripping eggs from the female, one of the females that came, somewhere I'm weighing them. In short, just walk within the hatchery. You can even see the environment. At least we try to do something. But as I said, the where we are can keep us moving ahead. Thank you. Next. Yeah, about the farms here, small literature about the farms, or both farms are always, we can generate income. We use them as training sites, for everything. We can produce our crops, and sustain the feed fish or livestock feed production and so forth. Yeah. Next. Well, here there is something of meeting. There was no way I could put the 13 plots that we used to plant soybean. I love the 13 plots, but I just represented, put the picture of uh, one of the of the farms or the plots. You can see when we started cleaning the environment. Somewhere I brought people who could support in planting, and we developed and harvested soybean to this level. And from this level, you can see we're drying when I threshed it and so forth, the work that was being done. Talking about the 13 plots, I like the 13 plots because I gave them names. We have Aquamundo, all those our South American providential names. You have Aquamundo, Salobra, and so forth. So many of the names, 13 names. So I was always very happy when I'm going to this plot. I'm going to, New Jersey and so forth. If there was a way, I would have loved people to see the respective plots as they were. It's our common language. So I was so happy about that. But this is a little bit of the farm activities we did, for crop farming. Next. Okay, here is just talking about the thing that is important in this particular slide is what we do at the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm. As it is a farm, it has a lake. The lake is 14 meters by 13 meters. It was supposed to be by 1 meter deep, but there was a rock somewhere in one portion of it, but it's very impressive. This is our lake. Our lake is standing as the origin, for the origin of the Heavenly King's Pond and the Heavenly Queen's Pond. It's coming back to our four-position foundation. The Heavenly King's Pond by size is 5 meters by 8 meters and by 1 meter. The Heavenly Queen's Pond is 6 meters by 8 meters and 1 meter. The Heavenly Prince Pond, those ones were small, and the Princess Pond. I just put these ones because sometimes it's good to also take note about them. They are there. There is a potential for developing these ponds, but this will happen especially if I can produce our own personal fingerlings. So that is the farm for now. Then we are also having a standby, I would say, items. I remember I have one GP tank, 5,000 liters. I have a kind of not a pond. I can say where I can raise fishes that I've built, 2 meters by 2.5 meters and 1.5 meter deep. So we just have a very comfortable environment that we can withstand what we want to do, especially in fish production. Just needs to support and boost them up. So I believe that structurally and by the environment, we stand a better place. We are a better place to move forward. Thank you. Next picture. Next slide. Okay, here we have visitors. The most important thing here is the first row of pictures is you see me with one brother. This brother is a blessed brother. I'm so happy and proud of him. He came to visit me. I'm living as a refugee. Life is so difficult for me. I feel sometimes like I'm just alone. Nobody is around me as a blessed person and so forth. So when he left his own state to come and visit me, I was so happy. We stayed a week with him. We lived, and he told me he's very impressed and he loves what we're doing. He's seeing how he can be doing something like that on his own and so forth, and how we can work together. Then below there is this papa. He's an elderly papa. He has been working, very, very much to sustain and support his own group of people, the elderly persons. He loves what I'm doing. It's always very important to see somebody who loves what you're doing and who is like you. it comforts you. We become people who can comfort one another. That's why I mentioned, I thought of putting these pictures because actually they are visitors. They came to see me. Thank you. Next. Okay, summary of activities. It's just that we succeeded having our hatchery space, our academy space, and a fish farm hut, and of course we also had the farm places, and of course the items that we have or equipment that we have in the respective units as a foundation. It's just a summary of that. And additionally, I want to say that the soybean, when we harvested, mentioned, when we harvested the soybean, I have 90 kilograms of soybean, but in total, I'm having more than 100 kilograms of soybean. I'm so happy about that, and I'm hoping that I don't want to sell it, but I want to see how we can begin because it's very important as a base ingredient for the production of feed. So I'm keeping it for now. I'm so proud of that. Thank you. Next. Well, we naturally and myself naturally, I like what we call outreach, maybe witnessing, teaching. But the way I'm living now, a lot of I have to do a lot of things alone and so forth. But we're still creating space, gathering women, to talk to them, especially the role of women. We even teach people. Sometimes we do our workshops and so forth. I put this picture, at least that we are not like forgotten, to even educate people in other areas. Thank you. Next. Okay, this picture is there is what we call the Refugee Open Day. The Refugee Open Day, they were expecting to see a showcase of what refugees are doing, the activities. Oh, for me, my farm is in the suburb. It went with my poster, and I was explaining. Anyway, they passed by where I was at my own stand, and I was explaining. But somehow, some people also were asking, we didn't bring us fishes. So next time we hope we're going to have fishes and so forth. I said, yeah. And I think by this year, or Refugee Open Day, I should be able to be presenting something substantial. Below is that I try to encourage some persons to be able to cultivate soybean. And some of them were interested. And I was giving out, sometimes I give a 2 kilo or 1 kilo for soybean, so that you plant and you should have your own to eat, because I know it's very important. Next. Okay, this particular part is also very important. This aspect of a cooperative, I was lucky to take part in the education or training about what a cooperative is from a government standpoint, from a government cooperative department, and I realized that in fact, for me, achieving this goal is really very important that I have a cooperative, because it gives like the environment that permits me to successfully do what I have to do. So beside the goals you see there, the objectives, we have succeeded having what we call our holy uh, fish livestock farmers multipurpose cooperative. We have the certificate, but we need to develop it. Even though sometimes working with people is not easy. Here in Cameroon, in Nigeria or in Africa, normally if we had a way of having loans, we could move faster. But in Africa, the spirit of having loans, they have the spirit of even having somebody to give you a loan or give you something like an aid is so difficult. But with this cooperative structure, I think what we want to do, I hope and I see that we'll be able to move forward. Yeah, so we have this cooperative additional as one institution that will help us a lot in achieving our goal, our vision, objectives. Thank you. Next. For the methodology here, there is nothing too particular, but it is just the fact that the cooperative is not only for fish farmers, it is for livestock. And in this case, we deal with people who are in livestock, who are in fish farming, the people who are in restaurants, everything that concerns a fish, that concerns a livestock. You know, you are selling in the market, you are dealing with maybe a restaurant, you are in feed production and so forth. These people are potential members of our cooperative. We need to encourage them, and then we grow together. We hope, the only way we hope is that we will rely on having loans. Loans are very important, because when you help us, we too help you. You know, we give back your money, maybe with interest. Is very important than just giving somebody money like that. So we believe that we have loans. I think it will be a way to accelerate the achievement of our objectives, but through a very formal institution like we already have our Half-Leaf Malt Cooperative. Thank you. Next. Okay. So this is the last slide. I am very happy. I want to thank you to listen or sitting and listening to this long message and so forth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos. That was a really good comprehensive report of all the activities that you've done in the past 2025. Thank you. I feel like there's a lot for the year. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, as we move forward, let me share my screen. I think, yes, now is Q&A. So if anyone has questions, you can either enter your questions or your comments about Reverend Cosmos's presentations into the chat, or you can also unmute and ask questions. And afterward, if anyone has questions about Ocean Providence, you can also ask that as well.
Hi, this is Frank.
Yep, go ahead.
I have a question. If maybe I'm wondering, where your fish farm activity is located. It'd be nice to be able to see it on a map, presentation on a map, so I can get an idea where, where it's located in, around where in Africa, where in your country is located.
Okay, can I say something? Should I respond?
Yes, please.
I don't know, maybe using Google to identify the coordinates and maybe put them. If I have a better way to do, I should do. But honestly, the little I can do is maybe going through Google Map and try to see if I can get the coordinate. I don't know how to do it better than that. And if any person has a way to let me know how to do it, I will be very grateful.
Thank you, Uncle Frank and Reverend Cosmos. I think, yeah, I don't really know any other way other than Google Map either. But yeah. Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay, I have a question. Oh, my mom says, sorry, my mom first. She says, thank you so much. It was very extensive, so I don't have a specific question, but the idea of the cooperative to create a network of self-empowered business owners is amazing groundwork, long-term goal, but great things to take a lot of foundation. Thank you so much for your hard work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos. I think for me, my question was just going to be about the cooperative, and I guess, yeah, I mean, so I just wanted clarification, like, is the cooperative something you need to develop soon, right? Or like you're eventually going to develop? It's not something that's already there and you're trying to join it, you're trying to create your own. Is that correct?
It's okay. Let me say this. The truth is that as I am living here, I've been meeting people. I've been sharing sometimes my ideas with people about what I'm doing. I'm trying to create that awareness. But some developed interest in maybe, oh, if I could have this in my place. And since I could not do that, so the idea of developing a cooperative was that I am thinking of all these persons to become potential members of the cooperative. But the cooperative as it is, the people I intend, or those have already had contacts to be members. The situation with us here is just that they are not powerful in what they are doing. So I still had to, first of all, struggle to have the certificate that is a government recognition. And when I discussed with the person of the cooperative department, he said, no, it is good you register. And when you register, you have to see how these people can grow up. So I have done the registration and have the certificate. So anything I want to do is the fact that maybe we see how to empower these people, because as we are developing and expanding, we have started and we keep on moving together. We hope that there will come people who can also take the vision further. So I don't really know if I've answered it rightly, but I have done the registration. We have to develop them. It's a beginning, or everything is a beginning. Some cooperatives are known as cooperatives today when they have already grown, but in the beginning it was difficult. Sometimes you even need to explain to people, you meet with people, it's like you're asking the people opinion and sensitizing them and so forth. So this is a beginning that we needed the paper first, the registration, and then the few persons who are there need to be encouraged to become strong. Then we can be moving forward. I don't know if I really have answered it the way you want.
Thank you. That answered the question. Thank you so much. And my mom sent a photo of a map. Is that around where it is, your farm?
I don't know if can I see the photo? Is it there? Can we check it on the
It's in
screen?
it's in the chat.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I will have to look, but maybe because I cannot go and check now. Okay, let me
That's all right.
see. There was I will. There is a certain Google photo I have. Maybe I will put it in the chat also one day. I will keep on looking for the other. But if Mama sends this one, I will have to look it later. Maybe I will respond back in the chat if it is.
All right, no worries. I also just wanted to applaud you because I know it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in Nigeria right now. So thank you so much for taking your time and actually being here to talk about this. It's amazing, your dedication. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Are there any other questions either for Reverend Cosmos or about Ocean Providence in general before we head to announcements?
Yeah, wait at this.
1 second, Songuk. Going once, going twice. All right, we will go to announcements. Thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos. It was amazing to hear about like everything in detail, what has been going on. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. So into announcements again, if any of you guys have a project or a program you would like to present regarding Ocean Providence or something related to it, or someone that has a program like that, please feel free to contact my mom and we can book you a spot for an Ocean Providence Connect call in the future. And the next Connect is tentatively going to be February 19th, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. So we are going, no Connect in December. Anyway, we are going to, no Connect in December, I guess. But we are going to be having, yes. Like my mom said, please remember this was streamed and recorded on our YouTube channel, Ocean Hobby Seminar. I think the link should have been sent out to everybody before this call, but yeah, so if you want to access it again later, it's there. And from next week, all of our calls are going to be Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard instead of Friday, since Friday it seems like it coincides with a lot of other activities. So Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard is going to be every week when we do the calls. All right, that is all from me. So can I ask maybe Reverend Cosmos to give an ending prayer, closing prayer for us?
Okay, let me pray. Let's pray. Good morning once more, Holy Heavenly Parents, our true parents of heaven and humankind. Say good morning to all of our Holy Heavenly partners. We want to thank you for this gathering. We are joining 2 days into one. Here is good morning. The other part of the world is still, to meet the morning. But this is very wonderful. It is, to me, very providential, trying to link what has been established and what has to be done. So I want to personally express my gratitude, to Holy Heavenly Parents. I want to thank all the people who have attended, and we pray that this vision for Ocean Providence is a life vision, it's a life mission. We pray that every little effort that we are making, may we be able to achieve greatly, to make the world a better place. I pray that may we be able to also expand, because it is not an individual's activity, it is our human activity as a whole. We pray that we will be able to identify, to meet up with people who are very prepared so that we can achieve this. I also pray that, oh Lord, as we are gathered here, may our unity and our oneness, Heavenly Parents, let it become stronger so that we can make you proud. We pray for those who wanted to attend and could not attend, no problem. And we pray that the message goes to the spirit world, those in the spirit world and the physical world. All of us, may we become those who will bring great achievement, great fulfillment. So we pray all in my name's Cosmas Obis and Travelers family, as we attend you through our Holy Mother hand, Aju. Amen.
Andrew. Thank you, Reverend Cosmos. Thank you, Sunguk.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Reverend Cosmos, once again for coming on so late into the night and for giving such a good comprehensive report. And thank you everybody for joining today, and everybody who might be on the live stream as well. Right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see
Bye-bye.
you guys next Thursday.
Bye-bye.